I would like to start by thanking Malini Mataji so much, and thank you so much, Amni Mataji. Hare Krishna, everybody. So I'll
Hare
start.
Krishna, Shruti.
Hare Krishna. So I'm starting now, okay? Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadishatarine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadishatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Anantati Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Anantati Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Anantati Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Anantati Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. So, according to the instructions of Her Grace Malini Mataji, I'm supposed to be speaking about the glories of the holy name. So, the topic that I chose, there's this snippet from Sri Namamrita, which is called "The Holy Name is Ever Fresh." So, this talks about the contrast between material and spiritual happiness. So in the material world, everything that we do is like chewing the chewed. So it's like, you do something thinking that you'll be happy because of it, but then you get happiness for some time, but then after some time it becomes a cause of your distress. And then after that you give up, so you go on to find something else, and then again you find that it also becomes a cause of your distress. So you keep going from one thing to the other, to the other, to the other, and then it's like a never ending cycle, and you just get frustrated at the end. But when it comes to spiritual happiness, like as we know, the spiritual world is Satchidananda, so it's full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. So the bliss over here, it's like in Ashtakam it comes like Anandam Buddhivardhanam. So it's like an ocean of bliss, and it's not like any other ocean. Like, any other ocean is limited, like any material ocean. But when it comes to the spiritual world, the ocean of bliss, the shores keep expanding, so the happiness keeps increasing. And we can see that, like, as we go about in our daily life doing our material activities, we end up getting tired. But then when we're engaged in devotional service, we don't feel that same kind of tiredness, because it's beyond the material platform. So it's like in the platform of happiness. So similarly, this holy name that we have gotten, it's non-different from Krishna, and it's directly from the spiritual world. And as we know about Krishna, like, Krishna and everything, like, for example, the Bhagavad Gita, which is spoken by Krishna. So this Bhagavad Gita, it was spoken like 1,000,000 years ago to the sun god, like many millions of years ago to the sun god. And then after it was spoken 5,000 years ago to Arjuna. Then now we guys still read it, and we still learn from it, and it's still ever fresh. So it's never outdated, because it doesn't grow old, because that is the quality of the spiritual world. And like, even Krishna is described as Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavanam. So they're very contrasting things. He is the oldest personality, but he has a form of eternal youth. So we can see that and he's non-different from his names, his forms, his pastimes. And so in that way, his different holy names describe different pastimes of his. So by chanting these holy names regularly, the dust that is accumulated in our heart, it gets slowly destroyed. And because of that, our enthusiasm to chant the holy name keeps increasing, like, get over and over and over. So the enthusiasm that we feel, that happens because our heart gets cleansed of the anarthas. So with this short kirtan, Hare Krishna kirtan, that we're going to do now, let us pray to Krishna that the enthusiasm that we feel, that our anarthas get cleansed, and that the enthusiasm that we feel for chanting the holy name keeps increasing boundlessly. Just a minute. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sorry. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari.
Study of Shadgoswamy Ashtakam. Before we start, we will revise the first two verses, which I hope everyone could memorize over the week. If anyone wants to volunteer, we have 6 minutes of time. You can try and sing. It's optional. If not, we'll just sing together. Thank you, Leela Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, can you start once?
Okay. So we'll revise verse 1 now. And then if anyone wants, they can volunteer to sing.
Mataji, can I volunteer?
Oh, Hare Krishna. Who is that?
Mataji, Akshara Mataji.
Okay. Akshara, I'll sing it once so everyone can follow. And
Okay,
then we'll take turns, okay? First, we'll chant the pranama prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Kancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna. Okay, sing verse now. Verse 1 now. Krishnot-kirtana gana-nartana parau Premamritam-bho nidhi Dhira dhira jana priyau priyakarau Nirmatsarau pujitau Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bharau Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarakau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. Hare Krishna. So if anyone would like to volunteer.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
So the first, whatever you told, we can sing that one.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hmm.
Krishno Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamrutam Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyau Priyakarau Nirmatsarau Pujitau Shri Chaitanya Krupa Bharau Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarakau Vande.
Hare Krishna.
Can I try, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, of course. Uttara Mataji's voice dropped after Vande. I couldn't hear her after that.
Krishnot-kirtana gana-nartana parau Premamritam-bho nidhi Dhira dhira jana priyo priyakarau Nidmatsarau pujitau Shri Chaitanya Kripabarau Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarakau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Perfect pronunciation and tune. Uttara Mataji seems to have. So once she's back, I'll give her feedback. Would anyone else like to try? We can do one more before we move on to the next verse.
Hare Krishna. Can I try, Mataji?
Hare Krishna. Yes,
Nadya Nadi.
yes, Mataji. Please try.
Krishna
Mataji,
Kirtan Gananartana Parau Premamrutambo Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyau Priyakarau Nirmatsarau Pujitau Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bharau Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarakau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Shall I try, Mataji?
Is that, I cannot see who that is. Okay, Mataji. So this will be the last one for verse 1. Next, we can try verse 2. Okay, Mataji, please go ahead.
Okay. Krishna Kirtana Ganana Tana Parau Premamrutambo Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyau Priyakarau Nidmatsarau Pujitau Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bharau Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarakau Vande Rupasanathanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vande Rupa Sanatana.
Hare Krishna. Okay. I can't hear Anandini Mataji anymore. Thank you so much. Anandini Mataji and Lokamba Mataji, both of you sang very well. Lokamba Mataji, a small tip. The second line sounds very similar to the fourth line. I liked how you combined the hyphenated words when you were taking breath. Also, Priyakarau, it's not Priyakarau, it is Priyakarau. It's a short Priyakarau. Just keep these things in mind. Everything else is really good. Thank you, everyone, Matajis. Anandini Mataji did really well. I just missed the last line, but I'm sure you did it properly. Now we'll quickly sing the second verse. I don't think we'll have time to go around and take turns. I'm sure everyone's doing very well. So that we can save time, we'll just sing the second verse together, all of us, with our mics on mute, and then move on to the third verse. Second verse now. Please be on mute, Matajis. Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipunau Sadharma Samsthapakau Lokanam Hitakarino Tribhuvane Manyau Sharanyakarau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena Mattalikau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. Here, if you noticed, Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena. It's one long stretch of hyphenated words. It's a little tricky taking breath here. Something I do is take a short breath right after bhajananandena. Not the full breath, because then you will lose time. The beat will be lost. So a half breath and then you finish Mattaliko. But try to avoid stopping midway between bhajananandena. That's what we tend to do. Ideally, it should not be done because these are all hyphenated words, and hyphenated words should not be broken up as far as possible. That said, health comes first, so please don't do anything risky. Thank you very much, Matajis. Hope verse 2 is thorough. Now we'll move on to verse 3. Something I find really useful in trying to memorize is learning the meanings of individual words and meditating on them as we sing. Particularly these prayers by Srinivasa Acharya about the glories of the 6 Goswamis helps us understand what wonderful preceptors we have in our parampara. So learning these prayers helps us remember their qualities so that we can imbibe some of them. So with that meditation, we can try to memorize, and knowing the meanings is a huge aid in doing that. For the third verse, we will start with specific word meanings. So you can repeat after me like we do in Bhagavatam class with your mics on mute. If you have the book Srila Prabhupada Shlokas selected verses, you can see that this is part of the auspicious invocation mantras. Auspicious invocation mantras section. You can go over to the section with the 6 Goswamis prayers and follow along. Verse 3. I'll sing it once just to set the context, and then we will go to word meanings. Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidhau Shraddha Samriddhyanvitau Papotapanikruntanau Tanubhritam Govindaganamritaihi Anandambudhivardhanaikanipuna Kaivalyanistaraka Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalakau. Now we'll go to word meanings. As you see, the tune is the same. It's just about how you place the words. So line 1. Shri Gauranga, please repeat, of Lord Chaitanya. Guna, the qualities. Anuvarnana, of narrating. Vidhau, in the process. Shraddha, of faith. Samriddhi, with an abundance. Anvitau, who are endowed with. So what this line means is they are very much enriched in understanding Lord Chaitanya, and they are thus expert in narrating his transcendental qualities. Now please repeat the first line after me. Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidhau. Shri Gauranga Shraddha Samriddhyanvitau. Now the whole line. Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidhau Shraddha Samriddhyanvitau. That's the first line. Now the second line. Word meanings. Please repeat. Mics on mute. Papa Uttapa, the distress of sinful reactions. Nikrintano. Who remove? Tanubhritam. Of the embodied souls. Govinda. About Lord Govinda. Gana Amritaihi. By the nectarian songs. What this line means is, they can purify all conditioned souls from the reactions of their sinful activities by pouring upon them transcendental songs about Govinda. So, Shobhana Mataji has asked where I'm getting the word meanings. This is from Srila Prabhupada Shlokas Selected Verses book, Mataji. I think KK Song's website also has it, but I prefer this book because it's from the BBT. I can share snapshots, screenshots, or sorry, not screenshots, snapshots on the group later on. And if you have the book, you can just follow along right now. As for the recording, last week I did share an audio, so I'll do that this week also. I hope that helps and answers your question. Right, so we'll do line 2. Papo tapani krintano tanubhritam Govinda ganamritaihi. The whole line. Papo tapani krintano tanubhritam Govinda ganamritaihi. That's the second line. Now we'll do line 1 and 2 quickly. Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidhau Shraddha Samriddhyanvitau Papottapanikrintano Tanubhritam Govinda Ganamritaihi. Okay, now we'll do line 3. Anandambudhi. This is actually Ananda Ambudhi. What Ambudhi means is ocean. So Ananda Ambudhi are, or rather Ananda Ambudhi means the ocean of transcendental bliss. I hope you remember in the first line of the first verse, he sang Premamritambho Nidhi. So there we have heard Ambho Nidhi, similar word. What does Ambho Nidhi mean? Ambha Nidhi means like oceans. So this is the same word derived from the same word. This is Ananda Ambudhi, the ocean of transcendental bliss. Vardhana, increasing. Eka Nipunau, uniquely expert. Kaivalya, Nistarakau, who are the saviors from impersonal liberation. What this line means is, as such, they are very expert in increasing the limits of the ocean of transcendental bliss, and they are the saviors of the living entities from the devouring mouth of liberation. As we all know, in the Krishna consciousness philosophy, rather in the practice of Bhakti Yoga or pure devotion, Sayujya Mukti is decried. We avoid it by all means. So the Goswamis are expert in saving the living entities from that particular liberation. That's what this line means. Now we'll do that whole line together with the previous 3. First we'll do just the line, then move on to the 3 lines together. The last line is very simple because we've already done it twice. I don't think anyone needs revision. We'll just quickly do it along with the rest. Anandambudhivardhanaika nipunau कैवल्यनिस्तारकौ आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनैकनिपुणौ कैवल्यनिस्तारकौ. Now we'll do all three lines together. Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana-vidhau Shraddha Samriddhyanvitau Papotapanikrintano Tanubhritam Govindaganamritaihi Anandambudhivardhanaikanipurnau Kaivalyanistarkau. Line 4. Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. This line means, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Shri Jiva Goswami, and Shri Gopala Bhatta Goswami. So this was verse 3. Let's sing it one last time all together. Mics on mute. Please follow along and try to meditate on the meanings as you sing. Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidhau Shraddha Samriddhyanvitau Papotapanikrintano Tanubhritam Govindaganamritaihi Anandambudhivardhanaikanipurnau Kaivalyanistarkau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. Right, so that was verse 3. If okay, what we'll do is would Vrajapriya Mataji like to try this verse? You have been nominated. I'll tell you later by whom. Vrajapriya Mataji, can you hear me? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Would you like to try verse 3?
Yeah, I'll try. Maybe I'm not sure how my pronunciation would be, but definitely I'll give it a try.
Yes, ma'am.
Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidau Shraddha Samriddhi Anivithau Papothapa Nikruntanau Tanu Mritham Govinda Ganamrithai Anandam Buddhi Vardhanaika Nipunau Kaivalya Nishtarakau Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. I'm sorry, Mataji, maybe I have made some mistakes. This is my... Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry, I was on mute. Thank you. Yeah, it was very well done. Very good attempt. There were some mistakes, so let me just guide you through that. The first line, Samriddhi and Anvitau, because there's a, that's junction of two vowels. So we, the ear sound, Samriddhyan Vitau. So the ear comes at that point. In the next line, Papotapa Nikrantanau Tanu Bhritam. I forget, there was something here, but I can't remember now what that was. Kaival Sanatanau Raghu Yugau Shijiva Gopalako.
Okay.
I have forgotten. Okay, I had kept track of where the pronunciation was a little off, but that's okay anyway. I lost my memory unusually. Anyway, thank you, Mataji. You did. Please just practice the word pronunciations based on the vowel signs that are on the words. You'll be okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So you can follow along. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji.
Malini Mataji nominated you to sing. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. There is a reason for this.
Yes.
So, Vaishparya Mataji is the 100th participant in the Vaishparya group. So, it's a kind of welcome to her.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Nice to hear. Thank you so much, Mataji, and wish you a wonderful time on Sharanya.
Yeah.
Okay, verse 4 now. Everyone, please be on mute. Thank you. I'll sing verse 4 in one shot so you can all sing along, or probably listen and then keep in mind how it's sung. And then we'll do the word meanings. Verse 4. Tyaktva turnamasheshamandalapati shrenim sada tuchhavat bhutva dinaganeshakau karunaya kaupinakanthaśritau gopi bhavarasamrtabdhilahari. Sorry, I shouldn't be taking my breath here, but here I go. Kallola magnau muhur vande rupa sanatano raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. So here we have an interesting situation where there's a really long sequence of hyphenated words. So here we may have to break in between, because it would be a stretch on our lungs to hold our breath for that length. If you can, that's really great, but I don't think most of us can. So we'll have a little break in between. So now we'll do word meanings for line 4. Please repeat. Tyaktva, having given up. Tyak, it is actually in the book I have, it says Tyakva. I will verify what it is exactly, if it is Tyaktva or Tyakva. For now, we'll follow the lyrics on the screen. Tyaktva, having given up. Turnam, quickly. Ashesha, all. Mandalapati, Shrenim, it's one word. Mandalapati Shrenim, the circle of aristocracy. Sada, always. Tuchhavad, as insignificant. What this line means is, they who kicked off all association of aristocracy as insignificant. Line, we'll try this line now. Tyaktva turnamashesha mandalapati shrenim. Sada tuchhavat. Now the whole line. Tyaktva त्वातूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणिं सदा तुच्छवत् Line 2. Bhutva, having become Dina Gana of the poor conditioned souls, Ishakav, who are the protectors, Karunaya, out of mercy, Kaupina, loincloths, Kantha, and tattered quilts. I'm sorry, I pronounced that word wrong. Kantha and tattered quilts. Ashritav, who have accepted. This line we will now sing. Bhutva dina ganeshakau karunaya kaupina kantha shritau. The whole line. Bhutva dina ganeshakau karunaya kaupina kantha shritau. Now this line means, in order to deliver poor conditioned souls, the poor conditioned souls, they accepted loincloths, treating themselves as mendicants. Line 3. Gopi Bhava, the mood of the gopis. Rasa Amrita Abdhi. Again, there's an Abdhi here, which we all know means ocean. Of the ocean of nectarian mellows. Lahari Kallola, in the ripples and waves. Magna, who are immersed. Muhuhu, always and repeatedly. So in this line, the line ends with muhuhu as a word, but when we sing it as muhur. We'll sing the third line now. What this line means is, but they were always merged in the ecstatic ocean of the gopis' love for Krishna and bathed always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. Line 3. Gopi bhavarasamritabdhi lahari kallola magnau muhur. So even though this is a full-length hyphenated clause, we're going to break it up in between so we can catch our breath without sounding odd. Gopi bhavarasamritabdhi lahari kallola magnau muhur. That was line 3. And line 4 again is Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. That was line 4. Mataji, Snehita Mataji has asked, what is the meaning of mendicants? Mendicants are those who are in the renounced order. those who live mostly by begging, not because they need anything, but out of their mercy for the grihasthas. They seek alms from the grihasthas, so that by giving them donations, the grihasthas also acquire some credit in spiritual life. So as we know, the Goswamis most of them had very aristocratic backgrounds, which are beyond our wildest imagination. Two of them were ministers, particularly Rupa Sanatana were ministers in the assembly of the Nawab, the then Nawab. Raghunath Das Goswami was the son of literally a prince, and so on. So all of them have very, very rich backgrounds, most of them at least. And despite that, they just kicked off all those connections and accepted the position of mendicants, of the renounced orders, of very people who they sacrificed all of that just to benefit the poor conditioned souls. I hope that answers your question, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. We'll sing all 4 lines now. And because it's 5-1, we'll not be able to take turns singing. But please practice and feel free to send me your audios if you need any feedback. Immediately after this, I'll be handing over to Malini Mataji. What we're going to do is sing all 4 lines of verse 4 together. And then we will do verse 3 and verse 4 together. I'm going to do this in one shot so you can sing along with me with your mics mute. त्यक्त्वा तूर्णमशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणीं सदा तुच्छवत् भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया कौपीनकण्ठाश्रितौ गोपी भावरसामृताब्धिलहरी कल्लोलमग्नौ मुहुर्वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीवगोपालकौ. Now let's do verse 3 again. Shri Gauranga Gunanu Vidhau Shraddha Samruddhyanvitau Papotapani Krintanau Tanubhritam Govinda Ganamritaihi Anandam Buddhivardhanaikanipurnau Kaivalya Nistarakau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau Tyaktva Turnamasheshamandalapati. Sorry, I lost breath. One more time. Tyaktva Turnamasheshamandalapati Shrenim Sada Tuchchavat Bhutva Dina Ganeshakau Karunaya Kaupinakanthaśritau Gopi Bhavarasamritathilahari Kallolamagnau Muhur Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. Hare Krishna. I hope everyone enjoyed today's session and is able to practice this week. We'll meet again next week with verse 5 and 6. Over to you, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Vanchakal.
Mataji, I have one doubt.
Yes,
The
Mataji.
verse 4.
Yes.
Mataji, the verse 4.